Welcome back. It's time for the call of the day. Bullish calls on some airlines. All right, Jimmy, Morgan Stanley calls Delta a top pick in 23. You've got that. Citi initiates Alaska as a buy. You got that. How about this space here?
I like it. You know I like it. Again, you can't own this sector. You cannot own this sector if you believe that you're going into a recession. Because in a real recession, I'm not talking about the first half of this year. That wasn't a recession. In a real recession, you get airplanes parked in the Mojave Desert because nobody's flying. You've got air traffic travel by passenger counts back up at 2019 levels. And I think what's kind of important, you know, Scott, we were talking about Wynn Resorts on Friday, and I talked about the Las Vegas Convention and Visitor Authority figures. Do you know that convention attendance is up 20% in the month of October over 2019 levels? What does that mean? That means that corporations are spending on business travel. Now, I know that there's all these surveys out there saying how dismal CEO sentiment is. I get it. Those are actual reports.
Well, I mean,
what they're actually doing,
this
though.
roundtable today, though.
I know,
Even
but what
like
they're
10 minutes ago,
what
right?
they're actually doing, they're saying one thing, Scott. I'm with you. That's what the Business Roundtable said. They're saying one thing, they're doing another. It's been the story the whole year.
I know, but aren't you conflating with sort of what's happening right now with what the outlook is to why you would buy this? I would never buy an airline stock because planes are filled today. Why would you do that?
You heard me say that if you believe we're going into recession, you heard me say this clearly. I'll say it again. Do not buy airline stocks if you think you're going into recession. I have made a case again and again and again that we're going to have a soft landing. I could be wrong, but I've made the case. And if that's the case, at the levels these shares are trading, these are great buys. Again, if you think it's a recession, don't buy these.
Don't attack me. I'm just asking a question. Are you comfortable with the balance sheets?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Thank you.
Because that's a great question. Wouldn't own American Airlines. Sorry, American, you got a terrible balance sheet. Alaska Airlines, which you know is my favorite, has a net cash position. I like Alaska Airlines. Delta, United, you know, they've got some debt there, but they're still, again, absent a recession, they're going to make it through.
These are kind of trading range stocks, though?
Usually they are, Steph, but here you've got this case of the market is pricing them for a recession if you don't get one.
Got it.
I only go to the, you know, again, I'm looking at the roundtable things that just crossed, right? Overall, the index down 11 points, hiring down 17 points, capital investment down 7 points, sales down 8 points. If you do start to get even a more slow economy, you don't necessarily have to go into a full-blown recession, but if people are a little tighter with their purse strings, then you may not have the business travel to the degree of which you think you might, even if you don't necessarily have to not have a recession.
This is a good point. And then you get into this discussion of what's the right price to pay for these stocks. I take Alaska as a case where the debt, this is a good point, the debt level doesn't bother me at all, okay? And I look at a company that's selling at single times what next year's earnings are. I'll take the risk. Scott, I'll take the risk of what you're saying is true. I'll take it. I'll accept that risk for the reward. I could be wrong. That's the nature of risk.